What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. Ahsoka Tano's debut in The Mandalorian made waves throughout the Star Wars fandom and even beyond, with Dave Filoni appropriately being the one to direct the episode, as he's the co-creator of the character of Ahsoka along with George Lucas himself. Recently though, Dave Filoni dropped a pretty big bomb about the episode, as well as where it may fit in chronological order for a very important moment in Star Wars Rebels. In the finale of Star Wars Rebels, we got to see what fans have called Ahsoka the White. Ahsoka meets up with Sabine on Lothal, with their goal to find Ezra Bridger. Ezra, who had jumped to unknown space with Grand Admiral Thrawn in the finale of Rebels, and it being widely publicized that the Rebels sequel series would follow Ahsoka and Sabine's hunt for Ezra. In The Mandalorian, it's clear that Ahsoka is hot on the tail of Admiral Thrawn, as she's battling one of Thrawn's underlings known as Morgan, one of the last individuals from the planet of Dathomir. In the episode itself, it was a pretty big reveal that she was after Grand Admiral Thrawn, and her whole intention of being there was to discover more information on Thrawn. Dave Filoni though dropped a pretty big revelation about the Star Wars timeline, and when The Mandalorian takes place with Ahsoka Tano in connection to the Rebels finale. Before we get into his comments though, it is Cyber Monday, meaning that there are massive discounts on the Star Wars merch page, more than half off. So if you want to check out any of the designs you see below and want to get it either for yourself or as a present, now would be a good time. Link in the description down below. Now let's go ahead and get into Filoni's comments. What we see in Rebels and what we see in The Mandalorian is not necessarily chronological. I think the thing that people will most not understand is that they want to go in a linear fashion, but as I learned as a kid, nothing Star Wars really works in this linear fashion. You do episodes 4, 5, and 6, and then 1, 2, and 3. So in the vein of that history, when you look at the epilogue of Rebels, you don't really know how much time has passed. So it's possible that the story I'm telling in The Mandalorian actually takes place prior to that. Possible. I'm saying it's possible. Obviously, important things to point out is Dave Filoni doesn't outright confirm that The Mandalorian takes place before the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels. However, he doesn't debunk it, and he's actually the one that brings this up. I do think it would make a lot of sense if The Mandalorian did take place before the epilogue of Rebels, as most notably, Sabine Wren is not in the episode, and we know that the two of them team up to eventually go find Ezra. This would also mean the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels takes place over 5 years after Return of the Jedi, which would be interesting, and I do think that it's safe to say based off of these comments that it does take place after the events of The Mandalorian, and that in the Star Wars timeline chronologically, The Mandalorian does come first. It's important to note that Ahsoka also does not have her white robes in the episode of The Mandalorian, and looks far more like she did at the end of Rebels. Anyway though guys, that's the pretty big reveal, and again I do think it makes sense that The Mandalorian takes place before the end of Rebels, but what are your thoughts on this, and where do you think the story is going with the sequel series? And do you think that Ahsoka will get her own live-action series following her successful debut in The Mandalorian? Again guys, don't forget to check out the sale for Cyber Monday, link in the description down below. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.